Greetings, Cubs. Welcome or welcome back again. It is time to step into the lion's den. So today I'm going to be doing a reading. This is a requested reading from Patreon on Lino and Han. So we are going to see what their relationship is like at the moment, what's going on. I had seen last time that apparently on their two kids' room, on one of the two kids' room, I'd seen that they had broken up. I don't know. It's funny because, you know, I actually know about all of Stray Kids. I want to say all of Stray Kids ships. I knew about them because they were really big since debut, I would say. And like, just like Woo-san, like you saw Min-sung everywhere. It was like Min-sung and like Chen Lix. Those, like, I couldn't escape those, okay? That's like back in the day trying to escape Kai Su or something like that. Like, those are one of those couples for me that, like, no matter where you turn, you're going to see videos of them. So I was very aware of them. But see, I guess my thought when I saw Min-sung, unlike most ships that I saw, I'm like, I actually thought, I was like, okay, now these two guys look like people who are actually in a relationship. And I actually always viewed it like that. I was like, oh, okay, those two are probably an actual couple. Those two are probably an actual legit couple. And especially with how much they say it, I'm like, okay, all right, you know, respect all y'all names. So I was sad when I seen, like, oh, that they broke up. And even if him stay, that's another thing. I wonder, and this is a genuine question for stays and Min-sung shippers. Do you guys ship them? Like, you know, ship them? For me, like, I feel like and I don't know if that's weird or not, but I'm like, if I actually think they're dating, it's like not something that I ship. It's like, oh no, that's a couple. Like, it's nothing to like look at. Like, it's like not, oh, this is cute dynamic between just two members. I'm like, oh no, that's a couple. Like, put that to the side. Like, that's just, they're just doing their thing. But for me, I'm like, oh, okay, Min-sung is a couple, and like that's pretty much it. Like, there's no other thoughts about those two. But I definitely seen a lot of them and them claiming each other per se, like, oh, calling each other honey, and, you know, actually talking about each other as if they're in a relationship. Yeah, been all up and through that shit. And I'm like, okay, yeah, all right, it's legit. It's legit. And so when I saw that they broke up, I'm like, that's so sad. Like, that's so sad. Y'all are like the only couple that I acknowledge in K-pop. Like, so let's see what they have going on, if they actually broke up or, you know, whatever is going on with them. Okay, I have all my Lucy Cavendish and Jasmine Beckett Griffith decks out here. Let's just hop into the Min-sung relationship. Real or not, let's have some fun with this and see what's going on. I'm going to have Lino to my left and Han to my right, I guess. Really, I didn't even think about having them separate. I actually just thought about just reading and telling you guys what I see, but I'm going to try to keep it, you know, a little separate. I'm going to have, like, Lino's kind of thoughts towards Han. I'm actually going to keep them turned over. I probably shouldn't have used this deck per se, but whatever. I'm just going to use what I have. Okay. Okay, that's it. All right, wonderful. All right. I'm going to pull my relationships and situationships and all the rest of the intense ones last. Okay, Han towards Lino. Anything else from this deck? Okay. Han's feelings towards Lino. Yeah, after I finish these, then I'm gonna go into kind of basically like we're gonna see what happened via all my romance cards. For the most part, anyway, is there anything else from Han towards Lino out of this deck? Yeah, for the most part, I will be seeing or using my little oracles for genuine or general or platonic. If it is, if there's, the platonic feelings behind it, we're gonna see what that is. Just what's going on, girl. Either way, it really doesn't matter to me how you look at this, as romantic, platonic, whichever. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. It's just what's going on between these two. Han towards Lino. Okay. And I don't think I prefaced it in this one, but I did powder my cards, so you'll see some white stuff on my cards. It's baby powder because as these are sort of laminated, sometimes they can get really sticky and stick to each other. So the powder that you may see is baby powder, and that's why I was kind of like rubbing it against the cloth. So Lino towards Han. We have use your time well, make every moment count. You will make it through this. Shine bright like a candle, you'll make it through this. Okay, so there does seem to be something that obviously happened between them two. And it seems like Lino's kind of more on this sort of encouraging Han to carry on or continue. But also it seems like Lino sort of has a time limit on, a timer on Han. For Han, we have follow the white rabbit. Lino. He's a rabbit. A white rabbit. Follow the white rabbit. Curiosity meets opportunity. Set your course. Know where you wish to go. Have a plan and the right direction. And it's still... Okay, so already it seems like Lino's seeing Han off. And Han is like, I know what I want, and I'm going, and I want you. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to follow wherever you go. So that's what I'm seeing right now. It's like Han is showing that his interest is solely in Lino, where Lino is like, at least while we're not together, try to shine on your own, on your own. Try to do things on your own. I know it's hard to do things without me, but try to survive on your own. So that's very interesting. It's especially interesting. Here's time again. It's especially interesting to me because it seems like Lino has every intention on coming back. I don't think Han knows that though. Interestingly enough, it's like Lino is kind of like not trying to tell him, but he's like, I will be coming back, but for now I want to see you try to survive on your own. It's like he wants to see if Han can manage to do things without him. The next set of cards are Witch at the End of the World, an important end and a new beginning. So yes, for Lino definitely ended this relationship or ended whatever dynamic they have. Lino ended it between them. And because he plans on starting some new projects or something new. New relationship or something. We have the three fates. What comes around? I don't. It seems like Han did something, to be honest. Oh, it's funny because I pulled these two first instead of these two. Should I just unravel these two? What comes around? Yeah, there's something that happened, at least on Lino's part, where he sees that something happened or Han may have done something, and that's why it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna end this. I'm gonna have to start anew. It's almost like also a little bit of payback, but it doesn't seem like, for some reason at Lino's end, it doesn't seem like there is like actual full like resentment, or it's more like, you know what, it feels like a very like, you did me wrong, I know I deserve better, or something happened, it's just like, what you did was messed up, I know I deserve better, but I know it's like, but what I'm gonna do is sort of break this off, and it's almost like I'm gonna return the favor, because what's the word I'm looking for? It's like he's eliciting a form of a punishment, but not because he necessarily wants to punish Han, or he necessarily feels like he needs payback or anything. It's more so to show, I feel like it's more so to show respect for myself, and respect for like to show respect for myself and show you that I respect myself. I am going to end this and let you experience what I've experienced, or something like that. Like, but it's I don't feel like there's any malice, but when we move over to Han, it's like we have the Fairy of the Divine Hand, we have Intoxication, Divine View, Overindulgence, and then we also have Amara, the Menahune, and it's like Aloha Healing. So what I see is there is at least from Han's end, actually, an obsession with Lino, which is a surprise to me, but either way, I'm going to read what I see. It seems like Han has some form of, what I want to say, what's they call it? Codependency. A very heavy codependency on Lino. And it's almost like he wants to kind of grasp Lino, like grab Lino back, like get his hands back on Lino. But also because he sees his own healing ahead of him. It's weird, because there's something going on specifically with Han. I do see like whatever's going on between them is a lesson for Han, but it's healthy for Han. It's very healthy for Han, because I see Han finding a healing, some form of healing for himself, or recognizing or acknowledging something that he actually doesn't really want to acknowledge, and he's trying to hold on to Lino in order to avoid facing some form of a truth. Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, so with the cards that just came out here, I almost feel like Han just called Lino a liar. But here we go. We have Lino towards Han. We have Awakening. We also we have Sleeping Beauty, Awakening. We have Snow White and Red Rose, Sister Love, and then we have Goldilocks, Entitlement. So it's like Lino saying that Lino feels like he's seeing, or he knows what's good for Han. He knows what's good for Han, and he knows what Han needs to sort of move forward or find his own form of healing. Again, it seems like something did happen, but almost like there's this very mature level of Lino where he's kind of like, I know what Han needs to heal. I know what Han needs in order to grow, and unfortunately that need is to not be with me, or not be around me so much. So there's that. And so there's also this form of platonicness coming from Lino's end. He's like, sit with Sister Love. And also him also acknowledging or even telling Han that you feel too entitled to me and my space. Okay? Han, we have start with Gretel, and we have both Hansel and Gretel. That's very interesting, right? We have ingenuity. Jesus. Okay. So I feel like Han is sort of like he's immediately looking at Lino like, you don't even mean that. Like, that's not even real to you. Like, you don't think, you don't think that way. You don't really believe that. Or you're not seriously trying to break up with me because you don't see, or like separate from me because you don't see things the way I see it. And you think I'm too clingy and, all of that. And then it's like we also have Hansel, which is survival. Han knows that it's like Han, who's Hansel, Han, the male, and then Gretel, Lino the gender doesn't matter. But Hansel and Gretel, it's like, Han is like, he knows he needs Lino for survival. He needs Lino for survival. That's how Han sees it. He's like, he needs Lino for his own personal survival. Or at least that's what he wants to see it as. Because he doesn't want to know that he can actually exist without the other. Okay, we have for Lino. It's still interesting because there is this form of like, he did this because almost like, there is still a form of Han messed up first, and Lino was like, you know what, I'm going to fix this by not allowing you to have me. Like, not allowing you to have my time, my space, my energy. You're not going to be allowed to share it as much as you may have before. So we have transgression, flaws, contradictions, mistakes, transmission, spreading of conditions, influence, and impact. Yeah, he also feels like, I feel like Lino also feels like he himself may have made a mistake in coddling Han too much. Han towards Lino, we have natural, authentic, real, and organic. We also have the monster within, eternal struggle, personal challenges, and wanting to improve. And we also have her last day in the light, unexpected endings, surprises, and sudden shifts. By this last row, Han realizes how serious Lino is. Like, that Lino really means what he says. And he knows it, and that's where the natural, authentic, real, organic. He's like, I know you, and I know you actually mean this. But we also have the monster within, where he's saying that Han also sees and knows that Lino is struggling to keep that distance from him. Like, he's like, I know it's painful for you to keep away from me too. Eternal struggle, personal challenges, and wanting to improve. He's like, I know what you're doing. And like I said, it seems like Han has a fear of healing and a fear of growing by himself. He seems like he leans on Lino a lot, very codependent. And then we have her last day in the light, unexpected ending, surprise, changing, and sudden shifts. Han was very surprised at Lino's shift in energy, the way Lino changed in interacting with him. Even if it's something slight or if it's major, either way, he's like, wow, no, you've really, done this thing, or you've really committed to this. Okay. So, that's what we have for, Han and Lino towards each other. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, even if you see, there's like these two are always together. As we have, like, both of these, like, always together, attached. Even with, Han, we still have always together. Hansel and Gretel, the brother and the sister love. So, platonic, romantic, either way. These two are together. Period. And they always see it like that. But definitely Leno's like, hey, look, I may have messed up. You definitely messed up. And either way, it's time for you to grow and heal on your own. It's time for you to do that. So that's how they feel so far. I'm going to push these up. Natural was over here. Okay, now I'm going to get to these relationship cards. Okay. So once again, okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to do some Leno to Han, Han to Leno once again. All right. Leno towards Han. Oh, okay. Girl, the way I'm seeing these cards, y'all, I see something that flipped over. I'm like, maybe there may be a little more resentment than I thought, because, again, it looked like Han did something. Okay. Han towards Leno. Han towards Leno. Of course. Anything else? I think that's it. Okay. Wait, what? Okay, hold up. What else then? Did I miss something? Okay. Okay, was that it? So I can... Sometimes I talk to my decks, y'all, because... Just let me know I missed the card. There was a card that was flipped over in there. Okay. Let me get some more Leno. Ooh, okay. I guess that's over there. Okay. Okay, I guess these are landing where the hell they want to land. Alright, these are going to be in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I had another deck I want to use, but I'm going to stop pulling because I need to read all these first. It's a lot going on. And I need room. Okay. Okay, y'all. Let me tell you something. It's very interesting that both start off with a mirror. Both of them start off with a mirror. And immediately, all I think is they both have reflecting to do. They both have some sort of reflecting to do on their relationship, on their dynamic. They've got things that they need to sort out. But let's go ahead and read all of these cards. I hate that this is crooked, actually. Oh, well. I think I made that worse. My bad, y'all. I just... Okay. I'm not going to change it from there because it's probably better than what I... Okay, boom. Haha. A little better. Okay. Mirror. We have mirroring each other, self-image, relationship, reflect on wounds, or introspection. Exactly, like I said. Both of them have to reevaluate their relationship, where it is, where it's going, and why it is the way it is. And I think for that, they both need time apart. We have, starting with Han as well, we have the golden mirror is different from Leno's. Leno is knowing that he sees himself in Han. He sees a lot of who he is attached to Han. And then he sees himself needing to heal from whatever damage Han may have done. And also needing to heal from their relationship and take time to reflect on who he is. Where Han, we have the golden mirror, which is self-absorbed, narcissist, and one-sided relationship and love bombing. So, like I said, even before, I see Leno's cards were sort of representing more of platonic. Like, he's like going for, or has decided he prefers a platonic. Either way, it's platonic. But it seemed like Han was a little bit different. Han's a little bit different. Han's a little bit different. Either way, it's almost like Han doesn't really care what he let me put it this way. All Han knows is Leno. He doesn't care in what form. He doesn't really care how, you know, all he knows is Leno. And Leno needs to be by his side. And what it seems like is Han is so focused, or was so focused on himself. He wasn't really focused on Leno, because it's like almost like he needs Leno by his side, but he still only focuses on himself. He only notices Leno when Leno's not by his side. It's like if Leno's not by his side, then everything goes to hell. He can't focus on himself when Leno's not there. It's weird. I can't really explain it. But either way, it's like, it's weird. Anyway. But let me tell you something. Leno is not much different. And the reason why I'm saying this is because not only do both of them have this mirror, right? Both of them have this mirror. This shows a similarity, because even in the oracles, they both kind of mirrored some similar things. And we have other cards that show that they are kind of the same. Like even these two that look like twins, and they're in front of a big mirror in the background, right? Well, it looks like a mirror to me. And that's how I saw it when I looked at it, right? But even with sister love, it's almost like this one and the same. Like they're quite similar. They're from the same. I don't know. It's something about them being one and the same, or being so similar. But I feel like there's maybe different intentions. Like, but anyway, we have the hammer for Leno, which is his next card. I want I definitely so far want to take notice on the initial intentions on under each member. So the hammer says sabotage, rebuilding, integration, repetitive, persistent, or working on it. The next card for Han is Sword and Rose, clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. So it seems like from the first two cards, Lino views things as it's time to reflect, it's time to destroy what we created and rebuild from scratch. From Han's perspective, it's kind of like he's focused on what the relationship makes him feel like solely, and he's also focusing on how Lino makes him feel solely. It's not focused on how he makes Lino feel, and what he doesn't focus on Lino. He doesn't focus enough on Lino's issues, what Lino's going through. He's too focused on himself and what Lino can do for him. And he's even now, it's like it's almost like he is starting to see and accept Lino's truth, but at the same time he's like, he still needs Lino's protection, Lino's power, and like how Lino makes him feel, Lino defending him. There's this, Lino is pretty much his knight in shining armor, and Han is like, it's difficult for him to focus on the truth and the reality when he knows accepting that means he has to accept and respect Lino's decision, and that he has to acknowledge that Lino may not actually want to come back to him or pair up with him on an actual serious level, like, or on a level that they were before. Okay? And he's fighting himself, trying to deny that that's a reality, while simultaneously coming to terms that that is the reality. Okay? Next, for Lino, we have a hand of cards. Take a chance, a risk, being strategic. Options, not showing hands, gambling. This is kind of like, even with the time, like I said, it seems like Lino still has some form of intention on returning. But it's almost like there's this lesson he's dishing out to Han. And for him, he needs to see how Han experiences certain things and works around the idea of, what if you don't have me? What if I'm really not messing with you no more? What if I'm not there to protect you? What if I decided that, you know, this isn't going to work out? How will you survive? We also have stabs in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, shocking, attack. I don't know if Han maybe was, you know, did something really petty out of being very upset that Lino may have been, you know, like, hey, I want some space. Sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know if Han may have done something petty, because yeah, I think he did, because if we go over here, what mirrors this side is the chaser in a codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues. There we go. That's really what it is. That's what it comes down to, right? And then we have coffin. Endings bring new beginnings. That's something I saw over here somewhere before as well. Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, and liberation, transition. So let me show you what this kind of mirrors to me. It mirrors to me the nail in the coffin. I feel like Han did something out of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like almost lashed out at one point, and that kind of sealed he realized that sealed the deal. Or from his side, he feels like that sealed the deal for him and Lino to not really, you know, vibe or whatever. We have sunglasses, we have looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. Now, gaslighting is a part of this for Lino, and I'm going to tell you why. Lino is denying his actual feelings and saying it's one thing, which is why I was saying, like, it's almost like Han called him a liar when it's like, oh, I really just view you as this way and I don't want to be, you know, so close to you, or whatever it may be that he said that hurt Han's feelings. I was saying that it looked like Han's cards almost deliberately called him a liar, right? He, now on Lino's end, he is sort of lying. Like I said from the beginning, Lino has intentions on coming back. Lino has intentions on coming to, I guess, mend or rectify something after a certain time period. So the things that he did say, it doesn't seem like they're fully true. But he was able to convince Han that they were. So we have watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. Lino's still checking Han out. Lino's still checking for Han. Lino's still attracted. Lino's still drawn over to wherever Han is. But we also have the snake. We have competition, enemy, clever, malicious, look over your shoulder, the other woman. We also have cassette. It says outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. I don't know if Han is immediately getting closer to somebody else, but Lino is watching and paying close attention, because that's not really what his intention was. He also is somewhat codependent, but he has more, I want to say he has a lot more sense than Han does, to be honest. Meanwhile, Han is still showing his affection to Lino. We have kisses, unconditional loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. But then also we have heartbroken, deeply hurt, sad, separation, breaking up, feeling lost, grieving and mourning. So even though he will still show a lot of love because he does still love Lino, he also knows that there's still a certain line that he's not supposed to cross, as to respect Lino's personal boundaries. Whether he knows or is aware that Lino, may or may not be telling the full truth. Like I said, it seems like Han is very convinced that Lino's telling him the full truth. He's like, I know what he means is real. I know his intentions are real. Lino's kind of like, I hope he doesn't see, with the sunglasses, he's like, I hope he doesn't see that I am still checking for him. I hope he doesn't see. It's more so I want to say he's watching Han from afar. Watching Han from afar, still thinking about, maybe a difference, like the past. And still also a little bit possessive over him getting closer to other people. But again, I want to say Lino just has so much more sense, and he's kind of like standing his ground in what his decision was that he made. And Han is heartbroken because he knows he is. Interesting. We have karmic, third-party relationship lesson. There's a third person involved here. It may not be with Han now that I think of it, because the whole thing, there was like this thing with Hyunjin. So, speaking of which, you guys told me that in the last one when I did with Lino and the Sugar Mama, and I think the Sugar Mama was a Pisces, or I'm sorry, not a Pisces, a water sign, and I found out Hyunjin is a Pisces. Y'all were like, I saw y'all on Patreon, y'all were like, it's Hyunjin, it's Hyunjin, it's Hyunjin. So, yeah, that's probably where this third party keeps coming in. But there is that third party there. It keeps coming up. So there is somebody else. At first I was going to say is towards Han, but it may be that third party involved with Lino. Although I do still see Lino kind of like watching over Han and making sure, actually eyeing whoever he gets close to as well. But we have karmic, third party relationship lesson. We have divine feminine. We have roller coaster, highest adrenaline rush, and also to me it makes me think like emotions kind of all over the place. And we have lost. For Han, we have waves, emotions coming, going, escapade, vacation, hideaway, adventure, and we have lockbox, closed in, trapped, and frustrated. Okay. Interestingly enough, let's I guess throw Hyunjin in here as almost as the third party, right? But either way, interestingly enough, it seems like even though Lino may have this third party potentially involved, or this woman or a woman potentially involved, I'm not sure. It could be Hyunjin, it could be an actual woman, like I, said before, like maybe a sugar mom, whoever it is, whatever it is. It looks like he was also not expecting Han to cut him off. Because Han also cut him off as well, but this came later, like way later. Han cut him off, but Han is still going through a lot more emotions. Like, Han is really going through it emotionally. And we have escapade, we also have vacation, hideaway, adventure. It's like he's locked himself off. And, we also have lockbox, closed, trapped in, frustrated. Han doesn't feel like he can find a way to go. He doesn't know where to go and how to go about things. But he definitely blocked Lino. Blocked Lino on a certain level. We have poison, toxic, unhealthy behaviors in people, soulmate, similar friendship or romantic partner on interview, talk, conversation, get on the same page. I do think that these two are going to get to a point where they go back and they start talking to each other, or they kind of, they're just going to go, I think they're going to go back to each other. Especially even with this poison apple, I do think they're still very codependent on each other. Like I said, Lino has a little more sense, and he goes about things where he is, if he makes a move, especially a big one, he's going to stand in it. And it does look like that's what he does for a minute, but one way or another, these two are soulmates, and they're going to end up back with each other. But I do see them talking more about talking to each other, more about their relationship. Again, time comes out with Lino. Oh, they got into it. Where does this go? Yep, they got into it, y'all. Okay, this is definitely about Hyunjin. Okay, they got into it. Who's? Ooh, they got into it. It's so funny that Lino lost his cool before Han. Hold on. What about Han? Wow. Okay, and Lino? Any more for Lino? This is my carless card, but I use it as careless as well. I use it as careless. So let me tell you what happened. Here's what I see also. What's this card? So it went from, and that's why we end up in poison. They're gonna these two finna kill each other until they end up back together. So let me tell you, it starts off the whole time Lino's more mature, Lino's more calm, Lino's more relaxed. He has the best of intentions. He knows what's better for everyone. Han is more reckless. Han is more careless. Han is, love bombing or finding any way to get Lino to kind of pay more attention and come back to him, until Han gets to a point where Han starts reflecting and actually having to sort of make sense of himself and his relationship and everything, right? And remember, until I said, like, Han blocked Lino. Then Han blocks Lino. So it's like now it's not a one-sided, I blocked you, I'm cutting us off, I'm creating boundaries. Now it's also Han has blocked Lino as a way for him to clear his head and his space, right? But as he's reflecting and ignoring Lino, right? While simultaneously we have a spiritual hater being pretty mad and not really wishing the best for Lino. We have for Lino, he feels like it's like wasting time, stuck, no changes or limited. And so as we started off over here, remember what I said the first card we had was use your time well, right? And that's how he felt towards Han. Like, okay, well, while we're not together, while I'm giving you this space to heal, use it well. Now it's like Lino's like, you're wasting time. You've wasted this time. And it's like stuck, no change. You haven't changed. But then we have this forcer, forces things on you, forces their way in, forces to get what they want. So then we have this aggression that then comes from Lino, which kind of surprised me because, like I said, I told y'all he blocked him. Look, this card says blocked. Blocked. Okay. I was feeling that since before. I'm like, no. Han then blocked his behind. Moving, this is what also makes me think that this involves Hyunjin, because the conversation in the two kids' room is Lino was trying to get Hyunjin to move into his dorm and willing to kick Sungmin out to get Hyunjin to move in. So we have this moving. We also have this cyberbullying. You're being bullied online or they have suffered from it. So I feel like Han really did. After that, he did take that incident personally. He felt like, I think Han felt like that was humiliating. Like, you did that on TV. Like, Han felt like that was humiliating. The way, I guess, Lino may have approached Hyunjin on that show, as if Han himself wasn't watching. Okay? Anyway, we have photo proof, getting evidence, careless, and unbothered. It does seem like Lino got some dirt on Han. It seems like their relationship is kind of like slowly getting a little more toxic. As now, it's like as they're both rejecting each other at this point. Whether it was for healing before, now it's kind of like both of them are kind of getting pretty upset, both ignoring each other. Lino may be a little more physically aggressive, which is a surprise to me because the way I see Han stay on 10 and ready to fight somebody about something. But it does not seem, it seems like Han is more emotional and more on some either love bombing to get back or just like going through his emotions. And now, you know, ignoring. Lino is kind of like ignoring him, but also kind of gets physically aggressive at some points. I don't know what points, but that is something that kind of pops up. So, you know, these two have some work to do. I have to laugh at Lino because I feel like once he started receiving that same pressure, he already crumbled. Like, if you're gonna get physical, you already broke before Han did, which is crazy. But remember, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only, so. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and do a tarot reading and see what, basically, what's next for these two and their relationship. There's another deck. I got some powder on it. So far, out of all of the Disney decks that I got, you know, the Nightmare Before Christmas, and what else did I get? I think I got another one. I don't remember. But I like the Villains deck the most. The Villains deck I actually like it so far. So what's next for Lino and Han's relationship? Okay, first of all, the things that's going on with Lino and Han is going to be exposed. Like, Lino and Han's relationship is going to be public. Their relationship issues are going to continue to be public. Like, it's gonna, yeah, especially whatever it is, that betrayal or whatever that happened, that may come out as well. But one more card, please. One more card. Okay. Alrighty. When I say these two really be clashing, man. I don't see necessarily them getting, like, I know I was seeing before, like, maybe them getting back together per se. And I do sort of see something like that, but I do see some form of some information getting out or coming out, or them just talking about it. Some information about Han and Lino's drama going on, whatever K-drama they got going on, coming out. It was like some form of betrayal. Somebody, I tell you one thing, somebody's going to be looking better than the other, and it's going to justify why they're broken up. It may be something that comes out on a new show or some sort of show, or maybe Changmin runs his mouth and is the initiator into opening up that can of worms. But even at the same time as I see that somebody may end up looking better than the other, I still feel like they both are actually probably equally wrong. But what's going to make them both equally wrong is going to be what's not revealed. Like, that's going to be the secret. Like, there may be something like, I guess, well, pretty much like with On the Two Kids Room, where Han was like, the reason why, you know, he broke up with me is, because I couldn't protect him enough, or I couldn't take care of him enough, something along those lines. I can't really remember, right? So the side was kind of pretty much that Han was in the wrong. So it almost justified why they broke up, or, you know, why it is the decision was made like that. And of course that's public. Han and Lino are very public of when they're together. They're very public of when they break up. Or together and break up, you know, whatever. But it's something else that's like not going to be said. Like, as how that was like, okay, it was clear that Han was in the wrong. It looks like there was something else. There's more to it that is kind of like not really expounded upon, that actually shows no, both of them got into it for valid reasons, and they're both very pretty much in the wrong. But who is the Empress? Who is the Empress? They're not gonna tell me who. I'm trying to find out who the Empress is represented by. Because the Empress is also the divine feminine that came out for Lino. And I don't know if that's I don't know if okay, so this female may not yeah, she may not. I don't think the female is Hyunjin. I do think there's some other woman. I think also that's why in the Empress is Mother Gothel. Like when I said it was like this sugar mama older lady, right? Yeah, they're not gonna tell about the sugar mama. There's some older lady that Lino's messing around with. That's why it's a sugar mama. The Sun, the Seven of Swords, the Nine of Coins, Justice, Page of Wands. Yeah. Yeah. But she gonna stop paying him anyway. I'm so sorry, but like, yeah, he gonna start receiving some money anyway. Eventually. Or at least not so much. But yeah, no, there's definitely some other party involved in here, some older woman that is involved in this. And I think that's why it's like, no, they're both wrong. In some weird sense. You know, if you see them as a couple, if you don't, it's still something that well, at the bottom of my deck is the Lovers, true love, so, and then the angry witch. So, you know, if you see them as such or not, either way, yeah, there's definitely that third party involved. And there's something hidden about that woman. But of course, I don't think no one would want that to get out. Like, oh yeah, he's dating an older woman and, you know, whatever. Or he's messing around with this other woman. I'm going to let y'all know it's a sugar mama, because every time I see her behind come out, it's always money involved. And it's always her giving the money. And this is even like the Six of Coins. Like, she's always giving money. Even with this Nine of Coins here. Like, she, right after at this Seven of Swords, like this betrayal. But also this is this older woman in this card. This older woman, she got her cat. It's some older woman that likely, you know, she be paying his behind. She be keeping him nice and cute or whatever. So, either way, y'all can make of this, you know, make of this whatever you want. But this is what I have for Lino and Han's relationship or their dynamic. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think is going on. Like, also, do you guys ship Han and Lino? Do you actually think they're actually dating? Especially as they talk about it, or you know, talk to each other like they are, or talk about breaking up or getting back together. Do y'all think they actually are dating, or do you think that's just queer baiting, or like, I don't, what do you think it is? Like, what do you think it is? Like, maybe, you know, I'm part of the LGBTQ community. I'm bisexual, right? So I'm sitting there like, okay, it's actual relationship. Actual relationships exist. You know, it's not like there's nobody who's ever dated within their group before, right? And I don't think two straight friends would play a game where they're dating. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but like if you guys can make heads or tails of it, please leave in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of their dynamic, what you think is going on. What do you think any of this means? Do you think Lino actually does have a sugar mama? Like, I'm curious about it all. This was a long reading. I put a lot of energy into it, so I really hope you guys thoroughly enjoy it. If you want to purchase a reading like this, this is a can be a romance compatibility reading. This is a romance compatibility reading, also a dynamic reading if you're specifically looking for non-romantic. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Check out my Patreon if you want to purchase a reading like this for your favorite idol, celebrity, couples, dynamics, whatever. Hit me up over there, and I hope to see you guys again next time in the Lion's Den. Bye!